I refuse to date a pregnant woman and possibly a single mom. I am 27 years old and I work with Richard, who is 31, my co-worker. He was trying to set me up with a friend of his family, Sarah, 28, and I agreed to go on a date with her. On the date, she seemed like a lot of fun and we turned out to be quite compatible. We had a good time and I was looking forward to seeing her again. But on our second date, Sarah mentioned that she was pregnant. She was for months pregnant and I didn't know how to feel about it. I thought about it for a long time and didn't know how to react. Personally, I didn't know that people expecting a baby still went on dates, both men and women. I always thought the baby would be their priority for at least 2 years. Maybe I'm behind on life, but I don't judge them. However, I just don't want to date a man who has a child. Not for any racy reasons. I just don't want to be a stepfather. If I scold my kid, he'll be upset, but if I say something to someone else's kid, there's a good chance I'll hear, "You're not my dad." And then, this whole situation with the child's father, real or fake, is a drama I don't want to be a part of. Honestly, I don't think I could love someone else's child as my own. However, I just don't want to date a man who has a child. Not for any racy reasons. I just don't want to be a stepfather. If I scold my kid, he'll be upset, but if I say something to someone else's kid, there's a good chance I'll hear, "You're not my dad." And then, this whole situation with the child's father, real or fake, is a drama I don't want to be a part of. Honestly, I don't think I could love someone else's child as my own. Afterward, Richard was furious with me. He told me that Sarah had been cheated on by her husband, and during the divorce, she found out she was pregnant. She didn't want to keep the baby because she didn't want to raise it alone, but all her friends, including Richard, persuaded her to keep it, saying that there are plenty of good guys out there who would step up. Richard then told me that the first good guy he thought of was me. He said I was the only one she liked among the guys they set her up with. She was clearly upset about being rejected, though she didn't say anything to him, but it was obvious she was sad. At that point, I was frustrated. I didn't even know she was pregnant before the date, and now I'm being pushed into this situation. I told Richard that while I feel bad for Sarah, it's not my responsibility to fix her situation. I'm still figuring things out, and I'm not ready to be with someone who's pregnant. It's sad, but it's just not something I want to take on. After that, I started noticing my colleagues giving me the cold shoulder. Ben, 28M, one of them, told me that Richard had been telling people I almost caused a pregnant woman to lose her child because of my behavior. I set the record straight with Ben, and now he's suggesting I take this to HR because of how Richard is portraying me. Do you agree with me? What interesting stories have you had? I will publish the most interesting story in my video.